Part 2 ending of The Dark One, Part 1 down below. I'm starting to look back at things and realize she was lying the whole time. Her distance and anxiety and lack of motivation once we moved into our new place had everything to do with the fact she was living a lie. You can't just forget that it happened. That doesn't sound possible. If she did, she would be angry with him once he supposedly admitted it and calling him a... But she didn't. She was still texting him saying she missed him. My talk with the lawyer today was very necessary. Thank you all for giving me that advice. I filled a page with notes and he's giving me a separation agreement to start working on. Mostly he gave me advice about our shared assets, furniture, pets, and my money. She may demand alimony due to our discrepancy of income, which is apparently 22% of what the difference is for half our marriage term. But when I move out, I'm going to offer her the furniture. I don't care at all about stuff. She's the materialistic one anyway. And money comes and goes, I can always re-earn it. I'm not too worried. My sanity and safety are far more important to me and is actually priceless. The lawyer actually reminded me of that. He said don't be in a hurry to fast-track anything right now. Focus on getting some stability in my life, getting out of my current lease and into a new place. He also said I am in control and dictate the amount and kind of communication I have with her. If she love bombs me or tries to get back in, he said I can shut that right down and do not need to respond to any of that. Since we got married in this state and have lived here for at least 45 days, he said if I want, I can file for divorce here or in our old state where we lived for 3 years, but there is no hurry and I can do it all through the mail and over Zoom. He costs $300 an hour just to talk to, but it's nice to have a connection with someone who knows what they're talking about and can represent me if need be. I'd like to try to keep it from getting messy and going to court, but you never know. She may completely turn on me and try to make my life hell, especially if she is back on the drink. Not exactly sure what she could accomplish though. I'm just going to put as much distance as I can between us and send her one last text when I'm on my way out, to ghost her as much as I can. Communication is not important beyond that. I hired a moving company and a truck for next Friday and am signing my new lease tonight. I'm not going to let my current landlord know until the day I move out, so he doesn't contact her. He doesn't owe me anything and I don't trust that he would keep my move a secret for me. My moving truck might be obvious on that day, but whatever, I'll deal with it then and try to bang it out so I can leave as quick as I can in case she comes running. I'm having some dark fantasies of sending these screenshots to everyone we know and telling them she cheated and gave me an STD and lied to me for months, and that's really the kind of person she is. What is she going to tell all our mutual friends when our separation becomes public? That I left her. For her I'm just a meanie. Spread some lies about me, or some truths I confided in her when I trusted her. She's an actress and a collector of people. Now I just want to file the divorce right now and get ahead of her. I see advice on other threads: expose. I don't want to stoop to her level, but maybe my anger is starting to show and my willingness to protect her is starting to disappear, like our alliance is over. I guess this is a feeling I'll have to deal with. I've told my family and 5 of my closest friends in my old town where I'm moving back to what happened. I'm not going to go all Jerry Springer. I don't want any more drama, I just want some peace. At least I know the truth and can use it down the road if she decides to make it ugly. But I'm not living in fear of that, and I'm just putting one foot in front of the other for now. I finally got a good night's sleep last night and am working all day today and tomorrow after taking a few days off. It's good to be staying busy. I need it. I'm pretty sure she's already told her sister and sister's BF as they keep texting and calling to see if I'm okay and need to talk. I don't want to talk to them though because I know she's staying in their house and I'm sure they are on her side. And I absolutely don't need anyone telling me they love us and want to help us through it. I'm just removing myself. Maybe I'll reestablish some kind of connection with them after I move. I already signed the lease for a new apartment and paid security in first month. I've already secured the truck and moving team for next Friday. I'm out of here. On my way out I'll send her an email detailing my plans without revealing my whereabouts, just the basic facts, and list the things I'm leaving behind for her to pick up, while simultaneously giving my current landlord my 60-day notice, tell him all my things are out and send the keys and rent for Oct and Nov in the mail. Then I'm going to start over. I may or may not fill out the separation agreement forms before I leave. I'm not sure yet about when I should do that, though I am 100% sure I'm going to. I texted her sister's boyfriend today, just to say I'm okay and thanks for reaching out. He said he's there if I need to talk, but I don't know if I can trust them anymore. He was my good friend, just bought him an electric bass for his birthday last month. My comment: I would just move all her stuff to a storage unit, pays month's fee and give her the key telling her how to get her stuff. From there it's on her. Keep evidence you placed her stuff there and she was notified how to retrieve all of it. Then it's only her responsibility. OP responds: I really like that idea and want to do that, but my lawyer said not to touch her things. I really would love to just get the heck out of the apartment completely, clean it up, hand over the keys and be done with it, but I don't know. What do you think? There's not much that's actually hers alone, a lamp and clothes and shoes and books mostly. I could pack it carefully and take pictures. Giving that dude a hug while she was smirking. I'm thinking now it would be absolutely impossible for me to be intimate with her again. Just hypothetically, the thought grosses me out actually. I'll leave them to it. I've decided to move all our shared furniture into a storage unit to make it easy for her to get all her small stuff, clothes, books, jewelry, out. I'll clean the place really well and take pics and vids and let my landlord know. Then in the final email, want to keep her hash blocked. I'll give her the decision to split or go pick up the furniture, or I'll sell it and send her half the money. I don't care, I just don't want there to be any material items left to fight over or have to deal with her abandoning things at the apartment. Wish I could do all this tomorrow instead of next Friday. Prepared my first real meal last night. I'm losing weight, only ate a few pieces of fruit for days. I have to turn this around and try to be healthy. I've printed out the forms I need to fill out, just need to order a copy of our marriage certificate. My lawyer says when I file, I should not mention the infidelity and STD, since it is a matter of public record and might help speed it along to get her to agree to my terms if I don't include the dirty details, just separating and getting out and being done with it. I guess I'll just deal with our possessions, then file the forms and see how it all plays out. I know it's a long process. I'm trying to stay stable and focus on my work and moving. I'm not drinking or smoking. I think this has been a huge wake-up call about not only who I was really married to, but about what I've been willing to tolerate. I'm not putting up with any of this kind of stuff ever again. I have to make my boundaries clear and pay attention to how I really feel, not to how someone else makes me feel. I'm going to put myself first from here on out, not some other person or relationship. This one turned out to be a sham and a joke anyway. I already feel stronger, the path is clear. I'm done 100%. No looking back. I'm starting to realize how much time I lost focusing on her life. It's hers to mess up any way she wants, not my problem anymore. Maybe I was suffocating her anyway, trying to be the perfect loving husband. Every day away from her it feels like I'm waking up a little bit, coming back to myself before we got together. Is it weird to feel strangely happy this happened? I mean, it still hurts too, a lot bubbling up. I didn't realize how absent and hidden I was in this marriage, how toxic it was for me just trying to please her and keep her attention 24/7, especially to find out she was giving it away for nothing behind my back. At least it was only 3 years. I like being alone, I'm making future plans with myself only, and I've been connecting with my family where there had been a bit of a block lately. Blessing in disguise, to be honest. I went to the court today to confirm all the forms I need to file for D. It seems actually pretty simple to get the process started, and considering I would like to avoid communication with her, I think I'm just going to do it. The only issue is that this state seems to require the papers be served by the sheriff. I don't really want to cause a scene at my STBX's sister's house, especially with the kids around. Seems unnecessary and kind of cruel. Maybe I should file, then reach out to her to give her the heads up, and give her the chance to respond. Am I being too nice? Now I feel silly for being so secretive with all this. Makes me feel like a coward, hiding, dreaming that these papers are going to be revenge or something like, boom, take that. Who cares? It doesn't really matter how it ends. Our marriage thing is already over, doesn't belong on paper anymore. My mind is made up at least about moving out, and I'll let her know and open some communication when the time is right. She probably wants it too, then she'll be free of my expectations and can do whatever she wants. Many times, we've been to the edge, but she always promised to change and get better. She didn't want to lose me or I her, and we'd been through so much together, so things would get good again. It was always that dynamic. She never threatened to leave me. Maybe I didn't have enough of a backbone, wasn't clear about what I wanted or needed, gave in too easily, too focused on polishing our image of happy married childhood sweethearts, riding off into the sunset. I feel kind of pathetic. Strange thing, there wasn't a loss of love, it still seemed like it was growing, just would get complicated, challenging. I thought it was all worth it. So maybe I'm holding off feelings of sadness or guilt or missing her by making her an enemy in my mind. All my talk about us being toxic discounts how much I've grown as a person in our relationship, how much she helped me, how much I enjoyed her company, and I'm trying not to think about the positive things because then I'll get really sad. I've seen her dark side, I've got mine too, not like I haven't lost my temper, been jealous, insecure, depressed, manipulative, lazy, tried to control her, flipped out about her behavior, stormed off, made her chase after me. Like a teenager, so wrapped up and involved in her life, reacting to her fuzzy choices, but never truly put my foot down. I didn't want to constantly be threatening divorce. I didn't actually want it to end. Probably made me unattractive, pushed her away, but I'm trying to avoid blaming myself for her cheating. Seems like it would have happened no matter how I acted towards her. It's her thrill. I've been reading about covert contracts and seems like I made many with her. Need to examine that part of myself. I don't know if I should tell her any of this, about my feelings. I don't want to open any doors, they need to be closed now. I just really don't want her coming here now, especially if she isn't sober. I mean, last time I saw her she was wasted and in the emergency room saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and that's where we left off, messy. She showed up with her sister. I locked myself in the bedroom and she started pounding on it. She saw all my things packed up and started screaming and crying. I heard her moving things around and wanted her to leave, so I called the police. I started recording. I wanted a witness. The cops led me outside and I was forced to reveal my plans to her sister. Her sister gave me a hug, but when I told her I'm leaving and filing for divorce, she got really cold too. They got her things and left while the cops stood guard. I wish I had already filed, but I will first thing in the morning now. I'm not sure if I played this right, but if I had told her I'm divorcing, she would have shown up here anyway to try to convince me to stay or something and maybe destroy my things if the cops weren't here. Her sister said she's taking her and won't be back to get the rest of her stuff till I move out on Friday. What a mess. She also wouldn't stop saying she didn't remember sleeping with her coworker. I guess she's convinced herself and her sister of that. Makes me the bad guy. The second I heard her storm through the front door, I retreated to the bedroom and started filming with my second phone while I called the cops. Our only interaction was through a locked door. Once the cops came, I opened it up in their presence and stayed on the porch until they left. I remembered what everyone here said and decided to err on the side of caution. Maybe it was an extreme move, but I know her temper. Not going there. Her sis texted me an hour ago saying she's sad I'm able to walk away so easily, that I made a promise and I owe it to her to give it another chance, that my STBX is committed to our marriage and getting sober and was willing to do whatever it takes, blah blah. I responded respectfully that I was not going to sweep this under the rug and that I have to leave for my own sanity and safety. I also laid it all out for her, that my STBX got drunk, again, and had slept in the backseat of a car and gave me an STD, then lied about it. I asked her would she stay in that situation. So, if she didn't know, she knows now. Her sis responded that she understood and her and bro-in-law love me and are there for me, which was good to hear. I am really close with them and their kids. If she actually decides to get better and deal with her abusive tendencies, then she has to do it for her, not because I roll over and let her back in. I see that would actually be the worst, and I'm going with my gut. It's not what I want. This channel has really helped me see things clearly and strengthen my resolve and draw a real firm boundary for myself. Filing for D is the best representation of that. Also, all the advice helped me think on my feet when I was ambushed today and lock the door and start recording right away. And now she's love bombing me. Poems, promises, telling me about AA and how she's done with drinking, asking me to stay, to give it time, begging me not to leave. What am I supposed to do with this? And going forward with my plan. Maybe the feelings are complicated, but there's more to it than just the physical affair. The drinking, the destructive patterns of behavior, the need for attention. They would always lead back to this place. I can't. She's trying to say I'm giving up. I'm saving myself. I'm choosing me for once. We've been here before and I have given in. Right to the edge because of drinking and dysfunction. Then that's her time to step up with the poetry and the declarations and promises. I'm beginning to see she may be addicted to that part of the process too, the destruction, the reconciliation. I'm not doing it anymore. I am leaving and I made it very clear this time. I refuse to be her masochist. It isn't my purpose in life. I have more to offer. I'm still filing. She emailed me. She wants to take over the apartment and for me to leave the furniture. I said fine, take it all. I'm in touch with my landlord and he's taking me off the lease. She's got a way with words. She has a journalism degree. Something about me leaving seems to inspire her. She hasn't written anything really in ages. She'd just been watching TV for hours and hours. When we got back together, she read me a bunch of poetry about me in her diary. Yeah, beautiful, real stuff. So maybe this is a good thing for her creativity, huh? When we finally broke up in high school, I wrote a whole album of emo songs too, poured my angsty teenage heart out. We actually stayed together for 9 months after I caught her kissing my best friend. We got back together the very next day. I remember it being like bittersweet torture because I loved her and it was the only love I'd known, and I had her, but couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was really emasculated, weak, distant after that. I didn't know how to deal with it. Ruined my friendship with the guy too, gave him a big ego. Yesterday we exchanged a few lengthy emails. At first, she was saying we can fix this, go to therapy, our love is true and permanent, and we're soulmates. I responded with how hurt I was, how I need to draw a boundary, how my heart is broken and the trust is shattered and I need a lot of time and distance from her. More than 3 weeks, more than a year, and forever if she doesn't get sober because her drinking and underlying issues make everything so hard. I said her actions have led us to the same sick place over and over again and I refuse to be on the other end of her destructive, selfish behavior anymore. That she never tried to truly change while we were together. Maybe she will now, but not with me around. Too late. I'm putting myself first and leaving. I said I won't be her enabler and suffer the heartache anymore. It's making me sick too. I basically just laid it all out. I wasn't mean and was careful with my words, but I didn't sugarcoat it. And I didn't waffle in the decision I'm making at all, or offer any opening. I just said this is it and I'm out. And we worked out the details with the furniture and the pets, which is basically she gets it all, huh? I'm just taking the girl cat. Whatever. Maybe I could have gotten into my mistakes and shortcomings, but I resisted playing some kind of blame game. I'm not there. She said we speak different love languages, that we did the best we could for each other but both fell short, and that she looked to me to be her guiding light, but I wasn't ready for that and was abandoning her when she needed me the most. I think she also has a fantasy of me falling apart. She's worried about me. She knows me and how I get depressed. Like anyone would. This sucks, but I'm good. I'm strong. I know I'm going to take care of myself. Maybe I should have blocked her email too, but I feel the way we loved each other and the fact we've known each other since we were kids maybe makes it easier to communicate these things and just tell the truth. It feels like the tension has broken. Now her last email says she doesn't want to make this difficult or have a legal battle. She wants this to be an easy break. She appreciates me paying October rent and leaving the furniture here, that I'm a good person and she loves me and hopes I find happiness, and that she's sorry. She says she won't cause a scene or contact me again. I can go in peace. Maybe part of her wanted this, I don't know. And yeah, now she has the place to herself and I wouldn't be surprised if she strikes things up with other old flames or even her coworker once she laughs off that he took advantage of her. I wouldn't be surprised to see them cheek to cheek on social media. Someone else will take my place. She hates being alone. I actually don't care what she does anymore, not my business. I'm trying not to be bitter and sad, but I did have a cry last night. I haven't actually had many feelings since this all went down. I guess she loved me how she is capable of loving. She's done this over and over. It's her pattern and I don't know why I expected a different outcome. It was definitely not the kind of love that I need. It didn't make me feel safe or even good a lot of the time. Mostly anxious and sad and insecure actually. I guess I am preparing myself to miss her and her presence in my life. We always made each other laugh. I hadn't gone a day without talking to her since we got back together. It's like a withdrawal, but I know drugs aren't healthy. I didn't leave any door open for us to get back together, never mentioned that to her. It hasn't actually crossed my mind. What I meant here, if she's sober for a long period I would consider even talking to her as a friend. They TDT now with us. I'd have to be a fool. I already was, again. Nope, done. For real this time. I mean, there's billions of people in the world and plenty of fish in the sea. In time maybe I'll make room for a new relationship, one that hopefully doesn't have all this baggage and issues. I'm optimistic. Someone that treats me right, reciprocally. That's out, they're right. I hope I'm not too jaded now. I'm worried now I'll be afraid to open myself up even when I'm ready. All this time and energy and money invested in this pile of trash of a marriage. What was even the point? Lessons learned, I guess. I need to work on what I'll tolerate and set boundaries from the beginning. But I'll deal with that down the road. It's me time now. Time to get to work on myself. I think the gym is calling my name. Rereading the emails. I was very careful to stick to the facts and didn't get too emotional. I couldn't find one thing I said that she could turn against me. Unless you can have everything. I don't care about stuff could include my bank account too. I don't know, we'll find out how hard she wants to fight it in 6 months. The only thing I'm taking of our shared things is our girl cat, who she doesn't like anyway. She chews on her clothes and plants and messes with her jewelry. She's my girl. Update. I did it. Filed for divorce today. Gave the court my mom's address so she won't know where I'm going. The summons will be in the mail tomorrow and I'll get them served to her here at the apartment next week instead of at her sister's. Thanks everyone for your advice. You all helped me see the reality of the situation from an unbiased, widened perspective. Many words in your responses have been ringing through my head throughout this process. I'm so glad I found this channel, so I didn't feel so alone and confused. Though I know this isn't exactly over yet and is going to be tough, I feel I'm on the right track, and have been since the moment I reached out to y'all. All my stuff is packed and ready to go. I'm out here. And I know it's the right choice, for me. Onwards. Made the 8-hour drive today and just finished moving all my things into my new place. A place of my own. Feels very peaceful and liberating. I started reading Leave a Cheater, Gain a Life last night. Words to live by. I'm doing good. I've maintained my distance but over email have agreed to pay a lump sum for alimony. I want the pets to be okay and for her to maintain her housing. I've been reconnecting with myself and with old friends, going out shooting pool and throwing darts and drinking a few beers a couple nights a week, which has been good for me. I also got a bunch of weightlifting equipment and a punching bag, so set up a gym in my basement and been riding my bike and throwing a baseball with my brother. I've been taking care of myself physically, honestly a heck of a lot better than when we were together. I'm feeling a little emotionally numb and kind of out of touch and uncomfortable in my own skin too. Guess that's to be expected, getting used to being on my own. But I'm just focusing on staying busy, eating healthy. Maybe I'm bottling things up. I'm trying not to think about the past too much. Definitely I'm letting some anger out in my workouts, but also having bouts of extreme laziness. Not really depression, just aimlessness. Finding distractions and surfing the net, but I'm figuring that's part of the process and I'm trying to let myself off the hook. Lessons learned. I'm working on me now. I'm proud of my actions and I feel strong. She obviously has problems and addictions, and now that it's over it seems she's starting to sort them out, and I hope she does. I've known her my whole life. I want the pets to be okay. What's a little bit of money matter for the peace of mind? I don't think that makes me beta or hopeless. It just feels like the right thing to do right now and will help me put this all in the past. I hammered out the agreement with my lawyer and it includes the right wording so that she can't ask me for more down the road. This is it. My comment, We were all raised on this blue pill narrative, which is simply false. Women don't want this crap. There is a dualism at play. The hot guy for fun and bonding and the serious guy to take care of her. She'd like to find both in one guy. This is where the red pill comes in. It informs these guys about female psychology. Unfortunately, nice guys think women are something that they are not. This is the reason these nice guys are wrecked when their best friend, soulmate wanders. Good girl, bad girl. We've been fed this false narrative by mainstream media, religion, and society in general. There is a reason that they do this. It benefits society to get these girls married. Girls like the one this guy married. Someone needs to support these women. Better this dude than the state. It's the beta guy in waiting who gets the honor. The beta chump who is in his 30s doing well. These girls are now willing to marry a beta for support and financial comfort. Often, it's not about love. It's often about opportunity. She had her fun when she was in her 20s and didn't want anything to do with these nice guys, but when she gets older and has her epiphany, in the 30s, she's now willing to give the nice guy his opportunity.